Democrats and Republicans urge Trump to pull the plug on New York City congestion pricing. I've I've never seen someone anger both sides like Kathy Hochul had, because she waited till after the election to throw in these congestion pricing, and then she try to sell it as if they're making it as it's a good deal. She said, "Well, I'm actually saving New Yorkers money with this congestion pricing because they wanted to charge y'all more, and I and I'm not charging y'all more than what they really wanted." Like, it's disgusting. Again, both Democrats and Republicans are together on this. It makes absolutely no sense to charge people. I mean, they already got some of the highest taxes. They got a whole bunch of tolls in New York, and they already everything else in New York is already expensive. And then you're gonna throw on this congestion pricing on top of that, which is just ridiculous because of their mismanagement of the budget, because of MTA's mismanagement of their budget. So we're gonna talk about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news now. This comes from Just the News, and they report that President Donald Trump is facing bipartisan calls to put the brakes on New York City's congestion pricing program, with Republicans and Democrats arguing that the higher tolls are hurting the region's businesses and commuters. But I'm thinking about this now. What could Donald Trump really do about this? I don't think he could do anything about it, because this is a state's issues. They Kathy Hochul, the governor, created this, who put this into place. I don't know if there's anything he can do about it, but this is going to end up hurting Kathy Hochul, who's I think going to be running for re-election soon. I want to say 2026. I'm not really sure. Can't remember the date, but she's going to be running for re-election, and this is going to definitely hurt her. She's showing her true progressive colors by doing this. But in a letter to Trump, U.S. Rep. Nicole Malliotakis, Republican from New York, and other New York officials on both sides of the political aisle said many of their constituents will not benefit from the transportation upgrades promised by the new tax, but are still paying the higher costs to drive them to Manhattan every day. They got to pay to work. They got to pay to work. It's crazy. But, quote, this tax is yet another cash grab that is expected to funnel $1 billion annually to a mismanaged and bloated agency that has treated New York commuters as bottomless ATMs, they wrote. You know, they're referring to the MTA, which I was referring to. And this is all mismanagement. I can't remember the billions of dollars that they lost. They had, how did they have a budget of like billions and still be left with billions in debt? It's similar to how Kamala Harris did with her slush fund of donations that she got, and still ended up in debt. Like, Democrats are not good at managing money. It goes on to say, as you have also previously expressed, this congestion fee will hurt our city's economy and the working families we collectively represent. Now, the letter, which was also signed by New York City Council members and state lawmakers, suggests that the project didn't undergo a thorough analysis of its scale and impact, and called for an environmental impact study to be conducted. So any other time, leftists like Hochul would be quick to do an environmental impact study, but it seems like they didn't do it for this project. It's because when it comes to collecting people's money, they don't want an analysis on it. They want your money. What goes on to say, quote, requiring the EIS will ensure the full impact of this congestion tax can be thoroughly assessed, particularly how redirected traffic and pollution will affect the quality of life in the neighborhoods we represent, they wrote. New Jersey governor, I talked about him before when it comes to this issue. Phil Murphy, a Democrat, is also urging Trump to cancel the congestion pricing program. He says the surcharge on drivers has been a disaster for commuters and residents in his state who commute to New York City for work. And a lot of people commute from New Jersey because it's a lot cheaper to live in New Jersey and work in New York than it is to live in New York. So a lot of people make that commute from Jersey to New York every day. He said, quote, in adding insult to injury, New Jersey communities are not being fully compensated for the additional traffic and attendant pollution that will be rerouted to them because of congestion pricing, he wrote in a letter to Trump on Monday. Murphy said the congestion pricing program, quote, has never been well designed or adequately studied, and accused New York officials of making significant changes to the program before they, quote, secretly rushed them through federal approvals. He pointed out that on the campaign trail, Trump, a native New Yorker, pledged to terminate the program when he took over the presidency. So he mentioned something here that I didn't know. It needed federal approvals. So maybe it is something Trump can do about it. Maybe I stand corrected. I didn't know that something like this needed federal approvals. So if the federal government needed to approve it, they can rescind those approvals. So that's interesting, interesting news here. When New York's first in the nation toll for drivers entering Manhattan's congestion relief zone during peak hours got underway on January 5th after U.S. District Court judge denied New Jersey's last-ditch push to keep the plan from going into effect. Under the program, passenger cars pay a $9 toll between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. on weekdays and between 9 a.m. 9 p.m. on weekends. There are exemptions for emergency vehicles, including ambulances, fire trucks, police cars, and other government vehicles. Residents with a household income of less than $60,000 can apply for a tax credit. So essentially they still will have to come out the pocket initially with that, though. It's a tax credit, so they'll get that money reimbursed back to them, but they have to initially have that money to give the first place. Wow, this is a disaster. But New York officials say the toll will reduce tailpipe pollution and drum up more funding for the cash-strapped Metropolitan Transportation Authority, which operates New York City's fleet of buses, trains, and subway cars. That's what it's really for. It's not really got nothing to do with pollution. They don't care anything about pollution. It's to take that $1 billion and to give it to the MTA because of their mismanagement of funds. Governor Kathy Hochul abruptly hit the brakes on congestion pricing in June, which I was alluding to earlier, citing the impact on commuters forced to pay higher tolls. No, it's the she wanted to wait until after the election because she knew once it been implemented, it's super unpopular. It was going to end up hurting Democrats. That's what it really was. But it also came ahead of the election, like I said, when Democratic House candidates fought for re-election in battleground states. Hochul resurrected the plan days after the November 5th elections with a reduced base fare of $9, down from the initial $15. There it was. So she said, well, I'm saving you guys money. They wanted $15. I'm only going to charge you $9. So I'm saving y'all money. This is what she tell y'all. The new toll will hit $15 by 2031, according to Hochul administration. This is something that they don't tell you about. But this is crazy. It's awesome watching both Republicans and Democrats come to Trump for help. It shows that we can work together on things, because I think this is going to end up hurting Kathy Hochul prospects. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.